Hello. Okay. Test it out, y'all. 0. It's still delayed, no? Oh, it's not as delayed. Guys, we did it. Is it not as delayed? Okay, 0. It's still pretty delayed. Oh my gosh, it's sort of delayed. It's delayed, but not as crazy as earlier. That's doable. Onto your audio. Yes, we're doing ASMR right now. I was actually reading a book. Sorry that I had to restart stream because the delay was kind of crazy. Hello, 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 hello. Are we back? 10 seconds. That's better than before. Maybe because the latency thing is... No, it's in low latency. Anybody else getting really sick of couples? No, not really a bitter person like that. I can joke about it and stuff, but why would I be bitter, you know? Why would I be bitter about other people enjoying their time? Okay. How late are we? Are we back? Yes. Yes, we are. ちょっと Let me see. Nice. Zero. Yes, we can claim anything again. Of course, of course. It's not that bad, guys. Okay. It's reset. So I had to stream again. Gomenasai. Gomen. Let me retag on my live ping. Cause it late. Yeah, OBS had a hiccup, right? OBS had a hiccup and it was for some or getting overloaded from nothing. I don't even know because I didn't do anything. I was really just talking. And when it came back, the delay was crazy. So I don't know what that one was. But hopefully we're okay now. Hopefully. Are we back? I'm so sorry for restarting stream, but I am restarting stream. Oh, I'm still in just chatting. Let's go back to ASMR, guys. ASMR. Okay, bitrate is excellent now. What is going on here? We're doing ASMR. The Ikigai. You guys know the Ikigai book. Very performative book, you know, but it's fun. ASMR. Oh, there's a I actually do like this quote. This quote is by Aristotle. I don't know how to read his names though. Did you have your bathroom break? No, I have not. But there's a quote from Aristotle. I don't know. Aristotle. I don't know. It says, "We are what we are repeatedly We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. So, you know, like being good at something is not just like you just do something and you're good at it. It's a habit, you know. So, I guess that's a good thing to. I did the test for him in philosophy today. Really. Um, but yeah, it's more of like what you keep repeatedly doing is what you're gonna be good at. So if you keep lying, you'll be good at lying. If you're good at singing, that means you sing a lot. You know, if you're good at dancing, that means you dance a lot. It's not just something you wake up and you'll be good at something. You know, gaslighting. If you're good at gaslighting, I do gaslight a lot. Yes, I do. Okay, well, I guess you can view, because I feel like gaslight has a negative connotation on it. Well, okay, gaslighting is essentially a negative persuasion. Essentially, is persuade, what's the word? Persuading somebody to believe on something, but essentially, it's just a specific type of persuasion. So if you're good at persuading people, you'll be good at gaslighting. You know, so that's what it is. And I do persuade a lot of people a lot. I have persuaded so many people into different things. Do you not think I'm good at persuasion? So, you know. Like, gaslighting is essentially persuading them to think a certain way. You know? Type is one of them, exactly. So, that's why I'm good at. To certain things. I'm not good at persuading at everything because sometimes I'm too shy to do it, you know? I still know when to not use. I don't just persuade everything to everybody or persuade people to do certain things and everything that I want. Certain things I don't persuade people, even if I can, I don't do it, you know? Like, I'll let people do what the heck they want to do, you know? But when I do it, sometimes I'm pretty good at it, to be honest. I'm good at persuading people. Yeah, exactly. You can persuade them to, like, you know what? No, because persuasion is essentially a skill of, like, making them think a certain way, essentially, you know? Like, oh, you should do this instead. If you're good at making people do that, then yeah, you're good at persuading. You can change people's mindset fast or easily, which is essentially as gaslighting, but just in a negative way. You know? Hello, Aurora. Welcome. How are you doing today? Which is like layers of things as well. It's like also if you're good at pointing out things where it makes sense, you'll be good at persuading, you know? But if you're like the way you point out things is like random and like that doesn't make sense, you can really persuade anybody. Because persuading somebody is to know what things make sense for that person and like to use that and persuade them, you know? Because if you can make it make sense to that person you're talking to, you can easily persuade them. Because it's actually what it is. You know what? It's an example. You're talking about somebody and you're persuading them to do something. If what you're talking about or what the things you're saying to them is something that makes sense for them, they'd be like, you know what? That makes sense. I believe you. And then you just persuade somebody. So it has to make sense to that person. You know. You have to like convey the sentence and structure the sentence in a way where like it makes sense to them, so that you can change their mind. That's what it is. Like it's not just, oh, you just sound persuasive. It's how you construct that sentence, and if it makes sense to the person, then you can persuade them. You know, because like if a persuasive person talk nonsense and you know it's nonsense, you're not gonna get persuaded, you know. But if it's nonsense, but in a way where it's structured that it makes sense, you're gonna get persuaded, you know. That's what matters. And that's what essentially what gaslighting is. If like that negative thing is constructed where like it makes sense, or like in it, like how they constructed the the thing and made it like your fault, and it makes sense, you will believe that it's your fault. That's how gaslighting is. Properly relate to them, yeah. Like, you know, like for example, if you want to make them believe that it's their fault, you gotta structure it in a way where like it makes sense for them, that you know what, it does make sense that it's my fault. Then they will believe that it's their fault, even if it's not true. You know, learning the true gaslighting. I got you guys. You guys want to learn how to gaslight? Gaslight responsibly, okay? Or I guess the term for that is don't gaslight. Persuade properly. Persuade people properly. Okay? Persuade responsibly. Don't gaslight. Because it's essentially the same. Gaslighting is just a persuasion technique, but in a negative aspect. Gaslighting versus gaslighting is an argument. Nani? Oh, gaslighting versus... Yeah, because it's two people trying to persuade each other. That is what an argument is, no? You're trying to put your point, and they're trying to put their point. Essentially, you're both persuading each other to understand each other. And that's what that is, what a debate is. Hello to me. Sorry guys, I had to restart stream. OBS had a little hiccup. I was delayed for like 20 seconds. So I had to restart stream. I tried my best to like maybe just reset the low latency, turn it off and on again. Maybe that will reset the stream, but it kinda didn't. So we love debates. I love debates. Because it was OBS itself that was having the hiccup. So I had to restart OBS itself. It was sending stream in a very delayed form. So no matter how much I restart Twitch or do things on Twitch side, it would only really reset to the point that what OBS is sending. So I had to restart OBS itself. How are you doing, by the way? I'm chilling. We're doing ASMR right now. So that's why we're talking like this. Also, we were talking about Ikigai, and it's really fun. People tend to agree on what I tell, so I couldn't get to do the debating. Me too. Or essentially, people that you're around usually are easily persuaded, to be honest. If that's the case. Or like, sometimes it's not essentially easy to persuade. It's more like they don't want to argue. People just don't want... There's some people that like, doesn't necessarily agree with you. They just don't want to argue. Which is fair. Fair enough. You know what I mean? They're just like, you know what? I agree. I don't care. You know what I mean? I thought... Me too. I am on the same boat. Because I believe that like, learning something starts from an argument. Learning something new starts from an argument. You know? So again, because if it's something new, then you don't understand it yet, right? So you have to question it. And once you question it, you're arguing with it. But in a healthy way. And then the more your questions get answered, the more you learn about it. And learning something is also just getting persuaded in new information. And understanding something new, you know? People could misunderstand that's true. That's true. That's not your fault. That's theirs. In general. But sometimes people you say things very rudely. You still have to be responsible for the words you say. You know? And that way you are responsible for that. If the words you use are not really wise or smart and it can hurt somebody, then you did something wrong. I believe you did something wrong, right? Because you can be like, oh, I was just being honest or just being factual. But if the words you say are very hurtful, then you are hurting somebody. And that's your responsibility. Like I'm never, you know, like there's a saying like, oh, I'm just being honest. I hate that. Especially, maybe you're not aware that it could hurt somebody, then maybe it's a little understandable. But if you're aware that that honest opinion can hurt somebody, but you still say it anyway, then that means you do want to hurt somebody and you didn't. And then you're just like hiding in the guise of, oh, I'm just being honest. So, and I hate that. Because if you actually do care, you're gonna try to rephrase what you want to say so that it doesn't hurt. But sometimes you're not aware that it could hurt. Sometimes it is that. And that's okay. You learn, You just communicate with the person that you didn't mean it like that. And you're gonna try better next time to be as less harsh, you know, and be aware of the words you say next time. Because, we're not perfect either. But also the person also sometimes, it's like it's a two-way street. You both learn something. One, sometimes you should learn to be less sensitive, because sometimes that's not what people mean. And then the other person needs to learn that certain words, even if you don't mean it that way, can be meant differently, and you have to learn that. So it's a two-way learning street. Two-way learning street. Like, you have to learn to be less sensitive and also understand, like, sometimes things are not meant how you took it or you felt it. Especially the world will not always adapt to how sensitive you are. So you protect yourself by understanding and being less sensitive, and in terms of like how it affects you and hurts you. But also on the other hand, those people need to learn that, like, your words have power. You can hurt somebody. So you have to be aware and be responsible for the words you say and how you structure things. I am one of those. Sometimes I do say things and it can hurt people. Sometimes I'm not aware, because obviously I would never really want to hurt somebody. So if I do, I don't mean it, and I have to be more responsible for what I do, what I say. And I am one of those people, to be honest. And I'm trying my best. Trying my best to be better with the words I say. To be softer, but still convey the same message. As a younger one in the family, not all opinions are heard. I always put my word properly and politely, which is good. Keep doing that. And that point of communication matters most. Like, if you feel like you got hurt, you tell them. That's true. So the other person could explain what they mean. If you really think that person is a person you want to keep in your life, because they're actually like a genuine person. Because not everybody's perfect. You cannot expect them to be perfect. Sometimes they can hurt you, but they don't mean it. And if you believe that this person is not a hurtful person, they probably just said something and it hurt you, but they don't mean it, then communicate about it so they are aware and they can change. Me and my friends have this thing where if the other one rants vents, we have to ask, oh, do you want to support? Do you want to ask real talk you, so we can understand each other? That's true. I also, whenever people sends me something or shows me something, vents or shows me something, I don't criticize it unless it's something that is bad, that needs to be criticized in a way where, like, because it's wrong, sure. But like somebody vents, my default is being there to listen. And if they ask for advice or what I think, is when I say things. I don't just start putting my opinion about it, unless I deem it important to say so. But most of the time, I'm just here to listen. Because sometimes what they want is a listen. Because sometimes what do you think is the right thing, they already are aware of that. Sometimes people think they put themselves in a pedestal and it's like, I'm wiser. But some people make mistakes, and the advice you're gonna give, they already are aware of. They don't need you to say it, because they are aware of it already. Because they have a brain themselves. You don't have to act like they don't have a brain, and you have to say like the most simple common sense. Sometimes it is like that though, but most of the time you don't think like that. You know. And if they do are genuinely are asking for advice, it's when you give it. Same with like like how people, if people shows me art, or like things that I've created, or covers or songs or whatnot, obviously there will always be something to improve on. You could be Ariana Grande and there will be something to improve on. So there will always be something to criticize if you really want to. But is it needed most of the time? Depends if the person asks for it. So don't give your criticisms if it's not asked. Don't give unsolicited criticisms. You know? And that's why I guess that's how I kind of like, I guess since I believe in that from like early on in my life, that criticism should be asked for, not given unsolicited. I learned how to view things positively first before the criticism. So for example, if somebody shows me art or shows me their cover, shows me their music or whatever, I only really view the good things first, and I appreciate the good things. If they ask me about if there's any critical things that I would like to give, which I'm actually really bad at. I'm bad at which I guess that is the reason why I'm bad at criticizing things of other people's things, is that I learned how to view the good things before the bad things. So I will have to like re-look at it or re-listen to it and view it in a criticizing world or a view, a criticizing point of view, and then I'll start pointing out the things I will criticize, because I really do. I struggle with criticizing because whenever like a person shows me something, I will only view the good things, and that's like a default. It's not like I'm trying to only view the good things. That's my default. Like I notice the good things more. For example, there's things to criticize about like a singing style of somebody. I don't really hear it, or I hear it, but I don't think about it. My brain just naturally don't think about it. What my brain kind of goes to and kind of like get magnetized to is the good things. For example, if I hear you have a good vibrato, that's what my brain would be like, oh my god, your vibrato is so good. You know what I mean? Maybe they're off pitch on some parts. My brain will not go there, but my brain will notice is like the good things, like good vibrato, good run, or whatever. You know what I mean? That's kind of how my brain goes. If they ask me about criticisms, I'd be like, I don't know, because I didn't focus on criticizing it. I didn't focus on the negative parts of it. So I have to like re-listen to it or like re-look at the something that they showed me. So that's why I'm bad at criticizing. Criticizing my own stuff, on the other hand, is a whole different story. If it's something that I make, I view the bad parts first before the good parts. It's like a whole different shift, you know? You know what I mean? It's a whole different shift. If it's something that I do, I criticize it hella. Cause I want to put the best out there. If that makes sense. That's why. Cause I want to put the things I want to put out in the world. I would like to put it out the best that I can at that point in time. So I will criticize the heck out of my own work. And if and I try to be as healthy as possible, obviously, but sometimes it does get a little toxic. But I view it in a positive ways most of the time, or try to, where like if there's something that I criticize and if I can improve on it, I improve it. If something that I cannot do anything about, I move on. I try my best. But sometimes it is hard. Sometimes you criticize something and it gets you frustrated. Just pretty normal. And it gets a little toxic, but as long as you're aware that does happen, you can fix it, you know, and be better, be a better person to yourselves as well. You have to be self-critical, but the way you feel and just talked about looking at the good things is the same way we feel. At least I do. You show you something that you work on, yeah, and I appreciate that. You know, because I'm not really asking for criticism, and if I'm asking for criticism from you guys, I will tell you. I will ask you guys. Like, is there anything that I should improve on? Right. Like if it's something that I'm proud of and I show it to you guys, I'm not asking for criticisms. I'm just showing it to you guys because I'm proud of it, you know? And some people don't understand that. They be giving unsolicited advice. And I'm like, okay. You know? As Res, student leader who just blew up earlier, I'm meeting early too because I always try to be patient. So talking about this really made me recall on my approach earlier. Oh, I'm so sorry. But I'm just, it's true. I don't know what you mean though, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that makes you uncomfortable. But I am standing on what I say. Feel like if Hanzo needs improvement, Hanzo would ask for it. I would definitely ask for it. And honestly, again, since I am very self-critical, the things that people will point out, I already know. That's why I don't ask for it, because I already know what I need, what or like the negative parts. And if it's something that I could work on, I already tried. That means I just don't know how to fix it for now. So, and I'm learning. You know, because most of the time when I get criticized about something, I'm like, I know, I know, I know. Hence, I don't ask for it. You know, like in works. I'm talking about like works that I do, like creative works. I was like, I know what you're talking about. I'm already aware of it. You don't need to point it out. You know. I feel like if Anzu, yes, Kira. Yeah, it's okay, Kira. Again, also as I said earlier, how I kind of started it, we're not perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. We can only improve ourselves. We'll never be perfect. So we also have to forgive ourselves when we do something wrong, and then improve after that. Move on and improve. You know. That's what matters. So it's okay. It's an honest mistake. Because again, if you don't mean to hurt somebody, but you hurt somebody, like you are responsible for your own words. And if you hurt somebody, that's your responsibility. But if you don't mean it, and if you realize that you did something wrong, say sorry about it. Because you are sorry about it. You don't mean to do it. And be better next time. And that's what matters. That's how we learn. Obviously, you still have to be responsible for it. You cannot just like forgive yourself and move on and not be responsible for the things that you might have done, right? But be better next time, you know? And if you have that mindset, you also will find it way easier, because it's not just like a you thing, but it also can affect other people's actions as well. You can easily, once you have that mindset, it's easy to forgive somebody. Which is very freeing on yourself as well. To forgive somebody is so freeing. To get to the point that you can forgive somebody is what I mean. Because sometimes it does get hard to forgive. And you know, you don't have to forgive somebody that is hard to forgive. But if you get to the point where like you can easily find it in your heart to forgive, it's very freeing actually. Because you don't hold luggages, grudges, baggage. You just let it go. And it's really nice. Thank you. You're so right. I couldn't see because of it. Felt a lot of guilt. Apologize for words. Yeah, you just be sorry about it. You know. Then again, you're not perfect. You're not meant to be. It's more of when you realize you did something wrong. What are you gonna do about it? Is what matters. After. And if you really don't really mean to, like, for example, I don't know what happened, but if you said something hurtful, I hope you didn't mean it. And if you don't mean it, just communicate that you didn't mean it and you're sorry about it and you're gonna be better. You're gonna try to be better. Hope I can reach that point of forgiveness one day. Yeah, which is hard to get there. It's easier said than done, but it is. It's doing it again. Oh no, guys. Oh no.